Saving Sasha's Song, Chapter 2, Anthony's Anticipation. Anthony's Anticipation, Part 1. Make a joyful noise unto the Lord, all ye lands. Serve the Lord with gladness. Come before his presence with singing. Psalms 100, 1 through 2. Hey, Lloyd. Brother, tell me you're not still asleep. Man, I need to talk to you. It's about our next big break. Call me as soon as you get this message. I'm still down in San Bernardino, but I'm heading toward LA right now. I'm going straight to the studio, so meet me there if you can. That was the message I left for my business partner and fellow music producer, Lloyd Love the Ladies Mitchell. Lloyd handled the secular music, while I produced and mentored the gospel singers and groups. We have a dozen secular acts and only 4 gospel acts. Lloyd is a true friend, and he continues to split the money down the middle. Though it is a fact that I started up the company using my trust fund from my late grandmother, Elder Ernestine Brown Mills. We don't concentrate on that. My father's mother practically ran things in a small town in Alabama. She was country, but she was smart as any big city banker, investor, or professor. Her father, my great-grandfather, was actually from the Big Apple, and that's where she inherited her tenacity. When my phone rang, right as I was getting on the 10 freeway, I just knew it had to be Lloyd calling me back. I couldn't wait to tell him about my discovery at church. I couldn't wait to show him the video of Sasha singing in church. When I looked down to see who was calling, I wasn't upset, but I wasn't as excited as I had been just moments before. Mom, how are you doing? How's Dad? Missed you two at church today. Oh, Tony, you know how your dad is. He wants to pretend like he's tired, but in actuality, he just wants to stay home and watch these NBA finals. The game doesn't even start until 6, but he won't take any chances of leaving this house. He is even watching pre-game interviews and stuff like that on ESPN. I laugh at these two all the time. My dad is always trying to get over, and my mom is always holding it down. Anthony, stop your laughing and get on over here. I cooked a huge meal thinking your sister was bringing her family over, and I just found out they won't be here until tomorrow. I don't know how I got Sunday and Monday mixed up. At this point, I just freeze. I got to get to LA. I got to get to the studio. I can't believe Mom is about to make me come over there, and I have so many fresh ideas. This can't be happening. But I have to see my parents. I only come this far east on Sundays, and since I didn't see them at church, I actually feel obligated to visit. Mom, I'm on the way. I'll be there in 15 minutes. 15 minutes? But church is only 5 minutes away, and it's been out for at least 30 minutes. Anthony, don't tell me you were headed home without coming over here. I know I taught you better than that. I can't lie to you. I was on my way home, but you're not going to believe who was in church today. Oh, Lordy Jesus. Don't tell me I missed Reverend Sharpton or Jesse Jackson again. I knew I should have just dragged myself to church. I always miss the good stuff when I stay home. Oh, Lordy. I had to chuckle. No, not Sharpton or Jackson. You remember Sasha, Diana's cousin. She came today, and I asked her to sing, and Mom, that girl can blow. Sasha? Not Sasha with the bad reputation. That little girl who was messing around with anything that looked her way. You know, I heard she was working in a naked club. And the Lord knows I hate to gossip, But her parents were a mess. She was indeed a beautiful young lady. What she look like now? Mom, I'm not being flirtatious, but she is gorgeous. A cover girl kind of gorgeous. And she can sing like an angel. Mom, I gotta record her. She is a walking gold mine. Not that I'm being greedy or anything. Well, all of that can wait. You better be careful with that Sasha girl. We don't want to see her influencing you to the point that you are fornicating with her like you did last year with that Anita character. Now that was an embarrassing mess. Can you imagine being a mother to an aspiring gospel producer and he gets caught up in a scandal? Let me stop. I don't even want to go down that road today. Just get on over here. We miss you. I hung up with my mom and felt guilty as usual. She's just not going to let me forget about Anita. Yes, I was tempted, but I never had sex with her. Nobody believes me when I tell them we didn't do anything. I'll say that she was naked. We did kiss 2 or 3 times, but guilt got the best of me and I left the hotel room. What messed me up was the fact that Anita was a quick dresser and a fast runner, because by the time I had waited on the elevator, picked up a person or two from every floor, she was already waiting in the lobby at the ground floor. When I stepped out of the elevator, she ran to me in her skin-tight miniskirt and skimpy crop top and breathing real hard and just held me. That's the only picture my mom's next door neighbor, Miss Shirley, needed to see on her way to work at the hotel's gift shop. Today is the day I am going to tell my mom the truth about what happened in that hotel room so that she can stop bringing it up. Shoot, if Sasha can come to church and bare her naked soul with her head held high, I should be able to do the same thing, especially since I didn't do anything. My phone rang again, and when I looked at it, it was Mom. Tony, stop by one of the drugstores and pick up a bottle of antacid for your dad. He's complaining of indigestion and all the other stuff. And hurry up and get here. You got it, Mom. I'll be there in 5 minutes. I didn't want to tell her I was 3 houses away. I just drove past the house and ventured to the main road towards Walgreens. I ran into Walgreens and was surprised there was no line. I grabbed the bottle of my Lanta and headed to the checkout. My phone rang a third time. I really do love Mom, and I have the utmost respect for her, but this was tiring. Mom, I'm getting my Lanta. I'll be there in 3 minutes, promise. I made sure I didn't have any edge in my voice. Okay, sweetie, take your time. That was Lloyd, joking around as usual. Hey, man, what's happening? Did you get any of my messages? The one I left about church. Yeah, I got it. That's why I'm here at the studio now. Don't tell me you still in the Inland Empire. That was the known name for the area of Southern California that housed such cities as San Bernardino, Riverside, Fontana, Loma Linda, Highland, and Rialto. Yeah, man. Mom called me right when I got on the freeway. She and Pops didn't come to church, so I haven't seen them since last week. And she said it would be shameful for me to bypass them and come all the way home without seeing them. So I'm still here, but only for about 2 hours. Cool. So what's up with this Sasha chick? Can she really sing like that? And the girl's got the look. That's the whole package. When do I meet her? See, that's just the thing. Me wanting to record Sasha and make her a star is no biggie for her. She's a star right now. She knows what it's like to have people wanting to get next to you. She has experienced people throwing all kinds of money at her, and she's lived a good life. It will be hard getting her into the studio. She isn't desperate for anything. Aunt, you mean to tell me the woman don't even know you want to sign her for a gospel contract? That's why I have to get into the studio, lay down a track or two, and let her listen to it. I have to entice her to want to do it. If she falls in love with the lyrics and the sound, she won't be able to resist. She's not what I would particularly call saved. As far as I know, she's still out there. We have to take baby steps with this one and try to clean up her image a little bit. Okay, I guess I'll see you later this evening. I need to go to Culver City anyway. We can meet back here, let's say 8 tonight, or we can just wait until the morning. Tonight. Remember, we're going to Long Beach for that conference. That starts at noon and goes to 6. I forgot about that. I don't know why I thought it was at the end of the week and not Monday. In that case, I'm going to have to forget Culver City. I have a lot of work to do. I'll be here. Bring me some of your mama's good cooking. I could use a good meal like that. No, you need to make one of those little girlfriends a housewife so you can get good cooking that way. Wife, no life. I don't think so. So she can take me for half? Bro, it's better this way. Ask Jesus and God if having a different girlfriend every month is better than getting a wife. See? Now here you go with that again. Anthony, why do you always have to bring Jesus into the equation? Peace. I'll see you later on. Don't forget my food. I want. I'm out. When I got to my parents' house, the same house I grew up in, I used my own key to let myself in. Dad was sitting in front of the TV drinking a wine cooler, and Mom was in the kitchen bustling around. They were a sight to see. They were both 57 years old and had both retired from working at the post office 3 years ago. They both took Grandma Mill's advice and invested and saved, and they spent money wisely. Neither of them wanted to be overworked like their friends and other relatives, so they really planned for their future. They were strategic in even having children, buying a house, saving for college, trust funds, and finally their retirement. They really had it made, and I was honored to have them as parents. At the end of the day, they were highly favored by God. Dad's face lit up when he saw me. This is one man that I can say was proud to have a son. You see, my parents felt as if they were the most blessed couple on the face of the earth. They had a son and a daughter, and after they both decided that they only wanted 2 children. Mom wanted 2 girls from what they tell me. Dad went along with that, but when I was born and he saw that I was a boy, he actually left the delivery room, ran up and down the halls, whooping and hollering and laughing and falling down. A couple of nurses had to sedate him and lay him down because he was causing such a riot. I asked Dad about that a few years back, and all he could do was shed tears. He told me that he was so overwhelmed with happiness that he didn't know how to act. My mom had no idea that he wanted a son so bad, but seeing his reaction caused her to be happy about having 1 girl and 1 boy. A set. Hey, sonny boy, how's it going? You're looking good there, son. Hey, Pops. You don't look too bad yourself for an old man. I walked over and shook hands with my father before he stood up and embraced me like he always did. There was nothing punk about a father's love for his son. I handed Pops the Mylanta, and he looked at it strange. What's this for? I feel just fine. Oh, no, you don't. Mina, you got some explaining to do. Why is my son bringing me my Lanta when I surely feel as healthy as an ox? Don't tell me you making those chili beans again. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love your cooking, but those beans are going to kill me. I don't want to fart, belch, burp, or cough. I had to laugh. Honey, you know I'm not cooking beans on a Sunday. I got the Mylanta for your new habit with these wine coolers. If you ask me, they are way worse than those beans. All it is flavored beer, and you've been sucking them down like Kool-Aid since Thursday. Tony, talk to your father. He's currently on his fifth four-pack since Thursday evening. I knew not to get involved. Instead, I walked over to the laptop and went to the website for the day's church service. I called my mom over from the kitchen so that she could see Sasha for herself. I love you, son, but this better be good because you just interrupted the commercial of the century. That was that Mean Joe Green commercial. You know they don't show that anymore. Anthony, leave him alone. Besides, you've seen that commercial twice already today. I was sitting right here when you did. You can always go to the internet and see it whenever you want to. Why would they be showing that old commercial anyway? Something about great commercials in history by great athletes. What you got there, son? Sasha. That's a mighty fine introduction, and you looked excited enough. Let's get to it, Mom said as she cleaned her hands on the dish towel. Now I just hope she looks better than her mama. The last time Peggy came to church, she looked as raggedy as any hobo, and she smelled like the sewer. She said she wanted to help while we fed the homeless. That was on a Saturday about 3 or 4 years ago, right, Mina? Anyway, Sister Trenton put some hand sanitizer on Peggy's hands and gave her the simple task of putting a box of raisins in each paper bag. If she didn't try to steal those raisins by putting them in that dusty book bag she had on her back, my name is not Anthony Marshall Mills Sr. It was terrible, all right. Sister Trenton practically tackled her trying to get the raisins back. Finally, gave her 2 or 3 lunch bags and told her that we didn't need her help anymore. I had never heard this story. Pops had me mesmerized. I hate to gossip, but baby, let me finish this story, 'cause this is my favorite part. Go ahead. Tony, brace yourself for this. After Sister Trenton gave her the bags of lunch, which consisted of a turkey and cheese sandwich, an apple, a granola bar, a box of raisins, and 2 mints. You forgot the juice box. Mina, you can't forget the juice box. It's the main ingredient. I'm sure I would have remembered the juice box. Steady now, Anthony. Don't you start with me today. I'm not starting. I just don't want you to forget the juice box, that's all. I laughed out loud and I stared at both my parents. So she gets her lunch bag and she puts them in that dusty, dirty backpack. She takes out the raisins, looks at them as if she's about to give them back to Sister Trenton. Then all of a sudden she tells Sister Trenton that she will sell her 10 boxes of raisins for a quarter each. I think I laughed for a full minute. The facial expressions my mom had were hilarious. When I settled down, she continued. I ain't gonna lie. Sister Trenton lost her religion right there in the church parking lot. She cussed Peggy out something terrible, called her all kinds of stuff. The H word, the B word, the MF word. Tony, she called her some stuff I ain't never even heard. Child, Pastor and Sister Jones was there. They just stood stark still. Daddy gonna have to finish the rest because at that point I got in the car with Sister Wilhite and we drove down the street to Burger King parking lot and laughed something awful. After laughing for about 5 entire minutes, I switched my position on the couch to look at my pops. He took a swig from the wine cooler and he looked eager to finish the story. No wonder you didn't remember the juice box. You were gone down the street. So after Sister Trenton let out her arsenal of bad words, Peggy takes the juice box out of the bag, sticks the straw in it, walks up to Sister Trenton, and squeezes a spray of juice in her face. It was out of control. So Deacon Howard and myself, we walked over to Peggy and we started to escort her off the premises. She started acting all crazy and trying to grab us at our behind. She was trying to kiss us on the neck. She was acting like a vampire or something. Honey, that was Satan. She was possessed. Mom added. Yeah, she sure was. So we get her to the street and we tell her to have a nice day. She starts cussing Sister Trenton out and walking down the street. We go back to the parking lot to console Sister Trenton, who is apologetic and hysterical at this point. Pastor and Sister Jones comes up with the bright idea that we should all just bow our heads and pray. So we all do that. And while our eyes are closed and we are listening to, we bowed our heads to pray, and Pastor Jones was trying to pray the devil out of Sister Trenton. See, he can't fool us. That's all he was doing, Mom chimed in. That's right, dear. Peggy came out of nowhere and started feeling on his front area. Oh, Pastor Jones lost his cool. He called her a wicked, evil Jezebel. I tell no lies when I say Sister Jones kicked off her shoes and challenged Peggy to a fight. Peggy said something like, I didn't come here to fight. I came to get my God-D money. Y'all owe me for all the work I done did. I called the police and they on their way. Mom, Dad, you're kidding, right? Son, this is no lie. Peggy really came to the church and she cut up like that. It was quite a spectacle. Your mom came back at the same time the police were arriving. She had really called the cops? Yes, she did. Your mother still can't believe that it escalated to that point. The police questioned everybody, and Peggy ended up getting arrested. She said she was going to take the church to court. She said she was calling Judge Judy, Judge Mathis, Judge Joe Brown, and Judge Ephraim. We ended up bagging up those lunches and dropping them off downtown at the shelter. We didn't want to deal with another homeless person that day. A day? It took 3 months before we could get enough people to start that program up again. And everybody was new except your father and I. No one from that day volunteered for that assignment. Shucks, Pastor don't even come out no more. Baby, go ahead and put Sasha on. I can't wait to see her. I pressed play on my phone and we could see the youth choir coming up the aisle. Sasha was the only one up, so you could see her at the end of the pew swaying and singing. Oh, look at her. She ain't changed a bit. She loved being the center of attention. Do you see her, Anthony? Look at her. Mom was somewhat excited. I see her all right. Who could miss her? She's nothing like Diana, but I could tell that little one Kenya will follow in Sasha's footsteps if Diana isn't tough with her. Will you two just watch the show and stop commentating? I want your honest opinion after I show you this. But if you're talking all the way through, you're gonna miss it. Sorry, son. Sorry, honey. They were both quiet for the next 10 minutes and saw Kenya and Sasha sing, and they didn't say a word. When that performance was over, I stopped the footage and I looked at my parents. So, what do you think? Mom was the first to speak as usual. I believe you really have something there. There was a calmness about Sasha that I haven't noticed before. If you can be sure that she has truly given her life to the Lord, then she will make a mighty fine gospel singer. Kenya is great too. I've never really heard her speak, much less belt out tunes like she did today. I'd say go for it. I couldn't believe Mom was being so positive about this matter. I agree with your mom. She is special. She has a special gift. I think she's actually good for Kenya. Kenya looks way more confident than she did last week at church. You're right, son. She's a gold mine. At least that's what Mina told me you said. I knew I had to go forward with it. I had to get into that studio, go through all the songs I'd written, find the perfect one, have Lloyd put some music to it, and introduce the concept to Sasha. Mom announced that it was dinner time, and I was eager to feast on pot roast, mashed potatoes, cheesy garlic and butter broccoli, yams, and buttermilk biscuits. For dessert, she made a delicious pineapple banana pudding. I made sure I made 2 extra plates, one for Lloyd and one for myself. Before I left, I told my parents the hotel story about me and Anita. Mom gave me a great big hug, and Dad smiled and nodded toward me, and he gave me the thumbs up. A 2-year-old burden had been lifted up off my shoulders.